The following is a story told by J.N. Gillespie of Little Rock, Arkansas. He was interviewed by Samuel Taylor, age 75, born of slave parents. I was born near Galveston in Texas, January 19th, 1863, so they tell me. I've been in this town and been living right here at 1112 Park Street for 53 years, and they never had no trouble with anybody. My grandparents were Gillespies. My grandma was an Indian woman. She was stolen off the reservation, her and her daughter. The daughter was about 12 years old and big enough to wait at the table. Both of them were full-blooded Cherokee Indians. My grandma married a slave, and when she growed up, my mother married a slave. But my mother's parents were both Indians, and one of my father's parents was white. So you see, about 3/4 of me is something else. My grandmother's name before her first marriage was Courtney, and my mother's first name was Parthenia. When they were stolen, they were made slaves. Nick Tolliver bought them. He was their first master, as far as I heard him say. After old man Nick Tolliver died, Tom Brewer bought my mother. Tolliver and Brewer were the only two masters she had. After freedom came, my grandma took back her own name, Gillespie. Grandma's second husband was named Barry Green. She was free, and in the Indian reservation, when she married Gillespie, she was a slave when she married Barry Green. After my mother came to be of age, she married a man named Willis. He was a slave. That is why I am like I am. If my grandma had stayed in the nation, I would have never been a slave. I wouldn't need to be beaten around here trying to get just bread and meat. After freedom, she taken her mother's name by her free husband, Gillespie. And she made her husband take it too. And that's how I got the name of Gillespie. After they were made slaves, my grandmother cooked, and my mother waited at the table and worked as a house girl. My grandma used to make clothes too, and she could work on one of the big looms. My mother told me that when the boys would go out to a dance, they would tie a rope across the road and make the horses of the patrollers stumble and give them dancers time to get away. Sometimes the horse legs wouldn't be broken. I want to work and can't get work, so they ain't no use to worry. I used to cook. That's all I did for a living. I cook as long as I can get something for it. I can't get a pension. As far as slave houses go, I didn't see no log houses when I growed up. Everything was framed. Right after the war, my mother stayed around the house and continued to work for her master. I don't know what they paid her. I can't remember just how they got free, but I think the soldiers gave me a notification. Then I stayed in the place till I was big enough to work. I didn't do no work in the slave time because I wasn't old enough. One day, I was stealing watermelons with some big boys, and I got choked on some seeds. The melon seeds got right in my throat. I yelled for help, and the boys ran away. Old Tom Brewer made me get on my hands and jump up and down to get the seeds out. I was a small boy, might have been 7 or 8 years when I left Galveston. We came to Bradley County here in Arkansas. From Bradley, my mother took me to Pine Bluff. After I got big, I went to Texas. Then I came from Texas here 53 years ago and been living here ever since, cooking for hotels and private families. I never was arrested in my life. I never been in trouble. I never had a fight. Been living in the same place ever since I first came here, right here at 1112 Park Street. I belong to a Christian church at 13th and Cross Street. I quit working around the yard and began building because they wouldn't pay me anything. They promised to pay me, but they wouldn't do it.